In light of the new How to Train Your Dragon movie coming out, I wanted to revisit the classic, the one that started it all, what I honestly believe to be the best animated movie of all time. I actually watched it pretty late, considering when it came out, because I did watch this during quarantine. I was just some strung out kid going from movie to movie in between those god-awful virtual classes, in between the naps I had, of course. I didn't think it would hit me that hard, because this movie, after all, was just supposed to be about dragons, or that's at least what I thought. But the story of Hiccup and Toothless wasn't just about a boy and a dragon. It was about a kid trying to figure out who he was and where he belonged. The creeping pressure to fit in, the need to prove himself. This movie captures all of it perfect. And with the world on lockdown, all I could think about how stressful it was gonna be going to middle school and how terrifying it felt to start fresh, to build a whole new version of myself from scratch. Because if I couldn't fit in, it was gonna be something big. Like I said, if I couldn't find some way to be okay with who I was, then middle school was going to be hell. I remember finishing the movie and thinking, could I be like Hiccup? That's why this movie, on the surface for some, just some animated movie about dragons, ended up feeling way deeper than that for me. This story is built around the world Hiccup introduces to us as Burke. In his words,
is Burke. It's 12 days north of hopeless and a few degrees south of freezing to death. It's located solidly on the meridian of misery. My village. In a word, sturdy. And it's been here for 7 generations, but every single building is new. We have fishing, hunting, and a charming view of the sunsets. The only problems are the pests. You see, most places have mice or mosquitoes. We have dragons.
Right off the bat, we see how Hiccup sees dragons as pests, but that's not really his personal opinion. It's just something he's picked up and learned from everyone around him. He's speaking for his village, not himself. And that's what makes this intro so clever. It's sarcastic, funny, but also a subtle setup for how deeply this village beliefs are embedded in Hiccup too. Right after that intro, the film throws us into chaos. It's nighttime and dragons are attacking the village. And through this, we learn a couple things very fast. One, Hiccup doesn't belong. While everyone else is out swinging swords and tossing nets like Gobber and Stoic, Hiccup is the only one trying to fight dragons using the machines he's built himself. He's too small to go head to head with them, and this movie doesn't give us a chance to forget it. There's this iconic moment where Gobber gestures to Hiccup and says,
"If you ever want to get out there to fight dragons, you need to stop all this."
What, you just pointed to all of me.
Yes, that's it.
That line right there says everything, because it shows that Hiccup knows he's the problem in their eyes. Hiccup isn't just physically different. His entire being is just seen as wrong. And honestly, I felt that. Everyone around him is strong, loud, and confident. Of course, he doesn't stand a chance at proving himself, because he doesn't represent any of those things. But still, as a viewer, I wanted to hope maybe things would be different, because Hiccup represented me. The representation in this movie went way beyond just dragons and flying scenes for me. I started seeing it as a parallel to what it's like being a black kid in America. It's harder than what it needs to be, not because we're doing anything wrong, but because of all the expectations people have put on us. The world already has this idea of what we're supposed to act, sound, and even move like, and it shows in our communities too, which is another reason why I was so scared going to middle school, because how was I gonna fit in if I wasn't? There's this unspoken checklist of what makes you black enough, and if you don't fit that, like if you like different things like I did, liking anime at the time, or move a little quieter, you're pushed to the outside. You're an outcast. And that's exactly what Hiccup goes through. His village values toughness, violence, aggression. That's the only way to earn respect in Burke. You can't be soft, curious, or different, and that pressure, it was everywhere for Hiccup. It came from the village, the other kids, and most of all from Stoic, his own dad. Imagine trying to figure yourself out while carrying all of that. But what made Hiccup different was that he didn't give in. When he had the chance to kill a dragon, the Night Fury at that, he couldn't do it. Not because he was weak, but because he said he saw himself in Toothless. He recognized the same loneliness, the same fear, and he chose compassion over violence. That really stuck with me because it reminded me how often sometimes softness gets mistaken for weakness, especially in young black kids. Being kind, thoughtful, and not being quick enough to fight back, that's not what people expect from us. It's not the stereotypes they put on us. But sometimes choosing not to fight is harder. It just takes a little more. And I hope I'm not alone in that, because I saw myself in Hiccup. And for once, it felt like maybe that was enough. That one decision to not kill Toothless completely changed everything, but it also marks the first time Hiccup really chose himself. Not the version of him the village wants, not who his dad expects, just Hiccup. The moment cracks the whole movie open. From there, we get some of the most powerful scenes in the film. The one that always sticks with me is when Hiccup draws the line in the dirt. He doesn't say much, he just sits and waits. It's kind of quiet, and you can hear the wind moving through the trees, the soft sound of Toothless breathing. The music barely comes in, but when it does, it's gentle, careful even, like the movie itself is holding its breath. And when Toothless finally steps forward and touches his nose to Hiccup's hand, it's not just about trust, it's understanding, forgiveness. Two outsiders saying, "You're not alone." Then there's the flying scene, not even a big one at that. The way they made the flying feel real, I genuinely felt like I was going up and down with them. It was insane, because every little dip, every little burst of speed, even when they were going in the water, I felt it. Just the first time Hiccup really figures out how to fly with him. It's clumsy at first with the directions and him writing down the paper, and then suddenly it's not. The music lifts at the exact moment they sing, and it's like everything else fades away. No village, no expectations, just him and Toothless in the sky finally being free. It's just so detailed, and I can feel that the animators made it with love and wanted me to pay attention to it. It's honestly perfect. And Toothless, he's literally the best animated character designs I've ever seen. You can't even help but love him. He doesn't even speak, but somehow you know exactly what he's feeling and still has personality. They made him feel real, not just like some sidekick or some pet that needs Hiccup to fly because he doesn't have a tail, but someone that's real. That's rare in animation, I'll say. And then the ending. It's not even about defeating the dragon, if you really think about it. It's about what Hiccup is willing to give up to do what's right, and he gives up a lot. When he wakes up and realizes he's lost his leg, the movie doesn't go all dramatic like you think it would. It's soft, a little sad, but peaceful. He doesn't cry, there's no panic, he just sees Toothless and it's like, yeah, we're still here, we still have each other. And honestly, for a movie that could have just been about dragons and jokes, it goes way deeper than anyone could expect. I still stand by this. The movie was so good, I had to talk about it, so that's what I did. Even in the problems itself, the relevancy is still there. I know I watched this when I was like way younger and I was a kid, but the dualities and problems of acceptance still apply to me now. And it's crazy that even though a show or a movie is released so long ago, and it's still relevant in my life. Hopefully we all can come to the conclusion to never change ourselves, because it's no point in losing our entire selves, our morals, because that's what lames and copycats do, and we're none of that over here. So if you guys enjoyed this, which if you didn't, then open your ears. You kind of suck, man. And no, actually, tell me how I can get better, or if there's anything that you want to see. I will tell you, I have a lineup of videos, specifically the Semi Turn Pretty is coming up really soon. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything else, because you know I'm always down for a yap sesh.